Creole Handbeat. À tout le monde encore. Nous avons un grand bonjour pour vous autres. Merci pour brancher avec Creole Handbeat. Est-ce que nous avons Colin XP? Good morning. Are you in the building?
Good morning, Waddix.
An
I am
expeditious
in the
morning.
building.
I could see some nature in the background, and that's good.
Yes, absolutely. I have to go outside so I can feel like I'm home,
I know. So, which means you are home away from home.
home away from home. That's right.
And you have been doing tremendous work out of Dominica. Before that, you have set the virtual platform to a different dimension. You have put the virtual media on a different level when it comes to entertainment. You and your team has brought some true dividends to Dominica's music. Tell us about the virtual platform and the new initiative that started, let's say, some 18 months ago.
Yes, well, as we all know, when COVID came in, we had to find something and some means and ways of making a living as for every other industry. The entertainment industry was one of those that was hit hard. So musicians, artists, we had to find a way and a means to make our ends meet. And so thankfully, Cornell and I was able to come up with virtual show, musical therapy that took our entertainment industry far and wide, and exposed the Colin XP to not only Dominica and the region, but the world.
For you, Colin XP, when you look back 18 months, the progress that you have made with your Bouillon Army out there, I mean, your legions of fans. What would you
Yes.
like to tell? What would you like to tell Creole Heartbeat this morning about that transition from where you were to where you are presently?
Oh my God, it has been such a quick transition, I might say, because I went from where Colin XP was, how would I put it, not really known. I was just coming out, and then I went from being Colin XP to being a Booyah Queen to being a household name right now. I'll be walking around, even up here in the States, I'm walking around, my mask on, maybe my shades in my eyes, and people will notice me. They'll be like, Colin XP. They're excited, and it has been a great transformation, very quick. And the Booyah Army, I love them so much. I love them so much because without them, there isn't no me. You know why? And everywhere they meet me, they thank me for keeping them sane during the lockdown, during the COVID times, and even up until now, they still can't get enough, because they always want their musical therapy, and now they're getting to experience Colin XP live. It's a whole new, different, falling in love with Colin XP all over again.
We're still with the therapy. Part of your program was every single week a different theme.
Yes,
You and your
yes.
team would be able to entice your fan base with a different theme every weekend.
Yes, every weekend we do something different, and I don't really know how I used to come up with the themes, but it just used to come to me. Sometimes I meet with my team, and we all brainstorm together and think of something we can do, something that's different, something that's out of the box. And again, the Bouillon Army would come out and they would support, and they would be in every one of the themes that we put out.
You are presently on tour. You left sometime, I think, in August,
In
in July.
July,
In July, you
July,
left sometime in
yes,
July, and you have
yes,
been on tour for let's say just over 2 months now.
yes, yes.
Tell us about this experience. I mean, yes, the fans were into the virtual realm, and now they can view the live Colin XP.
The live
Tell us from
Colin
the
X.
beginning of the tour and the experience from stop to stop, city to city, jam to jam.
Oh my, well, it has been an expeditious experience so far, and it's very exciting. The promoters have been they have been wonderful with Colin XP, and not just treating me like it's somebody who nobody really knows, because you still have to keep in mind that I'm out here. from the virtual scene, but they are professional. And the fans keep calling. Everybody wants to know when I'm coming to their country or when I'm coming to their part of the states. You know what I mean? Our first show we did in Maryland. That was very well attended, and the fans were excited. People flew from all over different parts of the states, to come down and experience Cali Next Be live. The next show we did, which was an even bigger show, was in New York for the Labor Day weekend. You know, that too was a very the house was full, and a lot of people came out. A lot of Dominicans came out, so I have to thank them so much for supporting their Booyah Queen. All right. And even though the non-Dominicans as well, they come out because they were so excited to finally see the person who they have been looking at online for so long. They were excited to see me in person. And then our next show was down in Houston. That show was another good show as well. The Dominican Houston Massive, they came out in their numbers to support Cali Next. So I must say, the resounding receipt that I've been getting from the people, it's very inspiring, it's very motivating, and it just drives me to do what I am doing to get Dominica's music out there and to just continue entertaining the people.
And let's just compare the experience. You have really mastered the virtual experience,
Yes.
and doing it now in a different realm live. Possibly one of the very few artists to have mastered both the
Yeah.
virtual and the live. Tell us the transition, tell us the similarities and the comparison.
Well, you see, I treat the live when I do the virtual, I treat it like a live. Sometimes some people may need the actual audience. They might need to see the physical people in front of them in order to perform. So I treat my virtual shows like it's alive. I mean, it is alive. It's just that I would not have the people standing in front of me, but they are there. They're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, so I always
Mhm.
keep that in mind. And that is how I get to perform the basically almost the same way. When you're there with the people in front of you, you'll have a little more energy, you'll have a little more life. You can actually get them to participate in what you're doing. But I just keep that in the back of my mind that my fans are there, the audience is there, whether they're there in person or not. You still have an audience, so you give 110% all the time.
You are managed by your husband, and who is a very known and noted musician around the region. Are you or were you able to connect with any other regional or possibly international connected with any international artists promoters out there while you're out there?
Yes, we have actually, and we will have some stuff that will be coming out real soon.
Mhm.
We have been working with Moto from St. Lucia,
Lucia, mhm.
so um, as we're performing right now in the States and people are getting to know more of Carlin XP, a lot more calls are coming in, from promoters, from producers, and, so soon we will have a lot more coming out where we have collaborations from different producers and also artists as well.
Whilst you are out there, you continue your virtual platforms, your therapy every
Absolutely.
Sunday, you continue the same, and you collab with artists and let's say DJs in Dominica. So you
Yes,
continue
yes.
to network and bring as you grow.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking to a few people in the media business earlier today, and was telling them one of the things that we don't do is to, as we grow,
We
bring
bring people along
our
with us.
yes with us. So
That's
we
right.
allow the
That's right.
industry to grow like how the Trinidadians will do, how the Bajans,
Exactly.
the Jamaicans will
Exactly.
do. But you seem to have reversed that whole trend where you are bringing the whole artillery of Dominica's culture with you as you grow.
Yes, because I mean, I didn't do it by myself. Somebody had to do it before me, in order for the world to know about Dominica and their music as well. So, and I always feel like if you help somebody up, then you're doing your job as an ambassador, you know, and it's not gonna hurt you if you bring somebody up on the way to success with you. We all succeed together, and the entertainment industry had took a hit, so why not help everybody in the industry? It's not gonna take nothing from you to bring somebody else up on your way to success.
Okay, and we also saw for Carnival that you did your own what was it? What was it called?
Colin Val.
Carnival.
Yes.
Will we see a WCMA Val or Kalin Festival or something? I know you're always in the making, and with your team, always continue to think. But is there something in the pipeline? We will talk about Miami and the rest of the gigs later. But is there
Yes.
something big that will be taking place for the Independence time?
Absolutely. We went out last year, and we invited a few artists to come on board, and we had a grand celebration for Dominica's independence, and we plan on doing the same thing. It's a little more challenging as we are not in Dominica, because we have to deal with technology. But we are working tirelessly through it. And we have a few artists, Dominican artists up here that we can actually utilize in order to make the event just as big as it was. So we are
Mhm.
definitely working on something, and soon and very soon, the Buyo Army will be alerted to
Informed.
what we are doing.
18 months, a lesson.
Yes.
You have actually revolutionized your name, your brand, your music. What are some of the lessons that you actually learned from that experience 18 months to now? In
Oh
terms
my
of
God.
let's say, your refocus, your rebranding, the level of appreciation for your fan base, how you network with them, that sort of thing.
Yes. Trust me, I learned a lot. I learned a lot, a lot, a lot. And hard work is one of them. Especially as an entrepreneur and a self-employed person. Trust me, you're working harder than if you have a 9 to 5 or a 8 to 4 job. So it's all about perseverance, it's all about hard work. I learned that
When you talk about hard work, you're talking about the rehearsal part of it, putting it together,
I'm talking
rehearsal,
about
choosing your
rehearsal,
repertoire.
management, planning, executing, working with other people, depending on people. I'm talking about everything that it goes, marketing.
Mhm.
Because you have to market. One of the
Yes.
biggest things that it's so important in the industry right now, and any business that you have is marketing, right? So we have to market, we have to plan, we have to execute, we have to rehearse, we have to perform, we have to dress because you have to get
Yes.
all the
Yes.
outfits, especially as a woman. It is even harder, because everybody's looking at your outfits. A guy can put anything and it's okay, but we as women, we have to work a little extra hard to get ready. I learned dealing with people, how to deal with people in the industry, especially, and some could be negative, some could be positive, but I choose to write on the positive, and treat the negative as constructive criticism and use it to propel me forward. I learned that a lot of people know Colin XP that I didn't know about.
And you're talking about both Dominicans and other nationals.
And yes, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I would be walking down the street and people would be calling me, and next thing I know, is a Jamaican or an
Yes, yes,
Antiguan.
yes,
So
yes, yes. That all goes
so
good,
I
yeah.
learned that no matter where you go, people, no matter where you perform, people are looking at you, and you never know who is looking at you. So you give it 1,000% all the time. I learned to appreciate my team a lot more, especially Cornell, because he's behind me, pushing me, doing everything. Calling XP, so it's a lot of hard work, sleepless nights, and everybody gets to enjoy the live performance or the virtual performance, but the work behind it, trust me, it's a lot.
Apart from, let's say, let's leave out the personal aspect of your marriage. and
Right.
David Cornell as the manager,
Yes.
pushing you to consistency, to excellence.
Yes.
How was that motivated you to where you are now?
Oh my God. I think if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be right where I am right now, because he is on top of all the marketing, he's on top of the brand, the whole Colin XP brand. He's building that, and basically I just have to go out and perform and you know um keep doing what I am doing, and he's doing like 80% of the work for Calvin XB's brand, and I get to appreciate him more in that light. And him, Waddix is a very serious person when it comes to his music. So a lot of people might think he's harsh but it's a business. You have to treat it like a business, because a lot of people, especially in Dominica, we don't tend to treat music as a career or as a business, but he's a business minded person, and he will treat it as a business. It is his business, it is our daily bread. And so we will move on with it as such.
Let's you would know from being that young lady who sang at the Sellers. I always go back to that performance, and even when we did that stuff at the Newtown Savannah, there is
Yes,
a difference
yes,
between just entertainment and the business aspect. For instance, you would know what you have to spend. You would know your
yes,
expenditure. You would know survival is dependent on your business motives, your
yes,
what you do to survive. What's
right.
the difference for just an entertainer who possibly have a little job there and has to perform, and you that depends solely on your entertainment as a business? What's the
Right.
difference there?
I mean, I've been in both shoes, and
Mhm.
back then, the music was really just a hobby. It's something that I liked doing, something that I was good at, and I had a little time so I could do it, so I did it. You know what I mean? But I still had my 84. I mean, I was doing my nursing and so on, and I had to go back to that. Now, Colin as the entertainer, no, the full blown musician, is something different, because you have to ensure that you get work. You have to ensure that your business doesn't fall along the wayside, and it's a lot more work. What it's You take more pride into it. It's 9 to 4. You treat it like your 9 to 5 job, right? Because that's what it is. It is your job right now, so whatever you would do in your regular jobs, you treat the music like that, because it is your career, it's your profession right now, so you put in the work, you mark it, you treat it like your baby, because you do not want it to fail, so it's a lot more work for me, where I have to schedule my performances, schedule my rehearsal, schedule my recordings, schedule my meetings, schedule. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of implementing, and it's great when you execute it.
And that's wonderful because lots of people just take the last part of it, which is execution.
Yes,
When they fail, they try to wonder. But here it is that you're giving us your template. You think, you plan, you execute, and you evaluate, and you're
evaluate
able to
after.
have the success story thus far. Tell us about your branding.
Wow. Okay, so the Kalinexi brand has been up and coming right now. It started off because people wanted memorabilia from the virtual shows that they were having. They wanted something to remember Carlin Exi by, and some get a form of contribution, because sometimes we'd have people donating, but they figured if they could buy a T-shirt, if they could get a memorabilia, something tangible, that it would also help with their donations, and they would have something to remember me by. So the Carlin XP brand came about that with that. We have our online store, shop at carlinxp.com, and that it has taken off very well, I must say. And thank you again to the Boyo Army for their great support. And we look forward to bigger and better thing, maybe an expansion of the store, maybe physical store that people can go to and get their Carlin XP merchandise.
What are some of the products on purchase?
We have T-shirts, we have water bottles, we have mugs, we have bags, we have cell phone cases, we have well, I'm looking at different rags and so on, and blankets, and we have baby clothes, we have jewelry. There's a lot to find on there, Waddix, and if you, Waddix, go on the site and you don't see anything, you can always let us know and say, hey, I'm looking for a shoe. Why can't I get a Carlin experience?
What I want is a bouillon water.
Very well. Very well.
Okay. In terms of your management structure, because that's one of the deficiencies in our music business in Dominica. Most of the artists are not
Managed.
or we are not managed, or they don't
Mhm.
invest into management. But you would have had or you have a solid management structure behind you.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about
Um,
your management structure.
it's necessary to have management, what is, because um, people take you more professionally when you have your team well structured. I will give you an example where when we're here, people would call up and say, hey, I want to get Carly next week for a gig, let's talk. And, we would refer them to my booking agent and they'd be like, no, man, it's us that there. And no, you'd have to be professional. It's a business. We cannot go on the realm of we are boys or we are partners or, it's a business. You have to treat it by like a business. And in that way, you will get the respect that you deserve, So I have a manager, I have a booking agent, I have a publicist, and I also have a stylist working with me.
A
Because
stylist.
it's yes, it's all about the image. You have to have your image out there, and you have to have a booking agent that nobody knows. So you take out the friendship part out of it, and it's all about business right now when it comes to calling XP, right? And I have my publicist, and he will flood your timeline. He will flood your phones. He will flood the try. I call the radio stations and say I need to get her songs in rotations and everything. And he will push my shows. He will push whatever it is that I am doing, the merch store, Carlin XB brand. So it's a whole team. When you go out there with a team, people will see you mean business and they will respect you as such. And most of the times, that's when people actually come to you because they know now that person means business. She have a manager, she have a booking agent, she has a publicist, all that. She means business. I'm going to work with her.
Are they all on tour with you, or you deal virtually?
They all on tour.
Wow. So the entire family is on tour.
I
Till
mean,
next, till next
they
year.
live up here, so they live up here. They live up here, so
So it was
we are
easy
together.
to so you're at home now. That's why you're at home away from
That's
home.
why I'm home away from home.
Okay. Okay, when we come back, Khaled, we will ask you about the Bouillon Army and their contribution to you and what you've been doing, because I know they contribute very frequently, and then you
Oh
also
yes.
have several events that you actually put forward. You actually you get them to subscribe to sometimes. We will
Yes.
talk about it in a while, but we just want to remind you this coming Wednesday and Thursday special virtual sports symposium promoting sustainable development through sports and Dominica. And that's Creole Heartbeat in collaboration with the Sports Division, Atlantic View Resort, Sports in Nature Foundation will be hosting that very special forum. And why are we creating this forum? Sports as a distinctive trait that allows us to contribute to a nation's development. The attractiveness, the ability, it has to come to form a communication platform. And that's why we're having the special symposium, and lots of interesting people will be targeting the entire Dominica, members of the Athletes Commission, all national associations, National Olympic Committee, the Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Education. It's important to collate sports and culture as one entity, and Creole Heartbeat will be featuring the special symposium, virtual symposium next week. We have welcome remarks next week Wednesday by Jerry Williams. We also have remarks from the Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Tourism, and we'll have the official launch. And we'll give you some more information on that. But it's back to the expeditious Bouillon Queen. The Bouillon Army, I mean,
Yes,
they mean so much to existence. They continue to contribute. And you also have events where they
yes,
support you. Tell us about
yes.
the Bouillon Army.
Well,
Is it a registration or is it you,
no,
you are the head, you are the president, you are the prime minister of the army? You take a roll call, that sort of thing.
oh
How it
wow.
works?
Well,
Because it's important that possibly young artists hearing you may want to network with their fan base because you have done that
right,
exceptionally.
right. Um, well, if you are interested of your craft, right, and you do a lot of research and you do a lot of self training, Waddix. So you go on and you see how the professionals do it, what they do to keep their fan base, and how they keep their people coming back to them, and how they gain new people. So most of the artists that I tend to follow, they have a name for their fan base. In that way, you don't just say my fans, my fans, my fans. If you give your fans a specific name, then they know they feel like they're part of a family, right? So I call my fan base my Buyo Army, and in that way, it's not just Carlin XP and her fans. It's Carlin XP's Buyo Army. We are all one family. And people tend to feel more loved and more involved and more invested when you treat them as family, right? So you
Mhm.
get more love. And when it comes to the support, let me tell you about it. My Buyo Army, there's none to compare. And as you said, without them, there would be no me. When we have like I took part in the Ministry of Health video competition, and my Buyo Army was all out. They went out, they shared the video. I mean, the whole point of it was to share the video and spread the information. And they went out, they uh, took their families, their friends, their colleagues, they get them to share, and to know who Karen XB is. So I just want to say thank you to all my fans, my Puyo Army. They know themselves. We always keep it expeditious.
When you say bouillon, I mean, are you referring to the genre bouillon because we know that you're still the rated bouillon queen, or you're referring to
Absolutely.
bouillon as a coup bouillon of
I'm referring
because
to,
you normally do, I mean, several genres when you perform.
yes, I do. So remember, the Buyo is a mixture of different elements coming together,
Yes. Yeah.
and when I call my fan base the Buyo Army, I am talking about everybody. I'm talking about the Americans, the British, I'm talking about the French, I'm talking about those in the Caribbean, I'm talking about Dominicans. We all come together as different elements, and you're now my Buyo Army.
Who
And I'm
organized?
the queen, of course.
Of course, Expeditious. Who organize your repertoire on a weekly basis? Is it
I do.
Genius Cornell or the both of you?
I do. Sometimes he makes little tweaks and so to there, but it depends on my mood and how I feel. Like I feel energetic, today. It also depends on the theme, So if we have a particular theme for a show, the music has to coincide with the theme as well. So we work on it together, but most of the times I do it based on my feeling at the time.
What motivates Expeditious?
My Buyo Army.
The Bouillon Army. Just the
My
mere
Buyo
idea
Army.
that you have to, they're looking out for you. And
Yes.
this is very important, especially a very important lesson. Because I remember the late Jeff reminding, I'm not sure why we are hearing some aeroplane in the background. I guess you're close to the you're close to the White House.
Uh,
But one of the lessons that Jeff to try to teach is to be very consistent and to always be at your A game.
yes,
Now,
absolutely.
those who have looked at your performances over the last 18 months, would see you always give your all, in terms of energy, in terms of presence, in stage antics, vocal
Yeah.
variations. You give 100%. I
Yes.
mean, what is
All
the?
the
I
time.
mean, the army is there. You really have to come and support them. But but
Hmm.
but there's some divine force pushing Colin. How many versions of the therapy now?
Oh my God, over 60.
Over
I think
60.
Sunday,
Yes.
this Sunday might be 62 or 63 thereabout.
62
Yeah.
versions consistently. And,
Yes.
and yes, I mean, we know that it allows some economic motivation, but
Yes.
apart from the army, you sit down and you figure, man, this has to be done. And I
Yes.
sure there are days that you're not up to it, but then you have to get it done because the fans are waiting. What's the template? What's the recipe to get it going at that high level for so long?
Absolutely. Like I said, not just the fans, but it's my business. It's
Yeah,
my work.
yeah,
Sometimes I know you feel like
that's
you
recurring.
you yeah, you don't want to go to work today, but you cannot call out, because your boss will ask you where your doctor paper.
Yes,
So if you
yes,
treat it
yes.
like your business, again, I always go
Mhm.
back to the business and your career. You get up and you do what you have to do. You muster up all the energy that you have. I have done couple shows in pain, in dire pain, and nobody would know,
No, yeah.
because I will give it 1,000%, and I even feel like I probably performing better when I'm in pain because I want to make sure.
Extra, extra.
Yes, I want
Mm.
to make sure that I give it my all, and I always say what it's no matter where you perform and what you do, you always give 110%. You could be performing to one person, but the mere fact that you don't know
Who
who
is
that
that one
one
person?
person is could be some big time promoter, some big time manager, some big time person, and you have no idea who that person is, you always give it 110% because you have no idea who that person is and just how far that person might be able to propel you and help you and lift your career.
You do-
So I
Mm.
always have keep that in mind because again of the Boyo Army, they always share it to their pages. I don't know everybody that is on their timeline or on their cell phone when they share the live. So I always give 110% because you just never know.
And that's critical, and that's extremely important to always come up with your A game. You are human, and there may be times that you are not as good as yesterday or the day before, but
Right.
the energy level. You give all you have
Mm-hmm.
on that
Yes.
particular day, and that's a very important lesson for artists, musicians, even DJs. And I
Yes.
noticed that DJ Slim, that's I have adopted him. He's taking down his notes. I
Yes.
love him, brother. I love him. I think he has tremendous potential. I love him. I love him a lot.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. But Colin, let's go down to now music. In terms of new music, you gave us a little idea that things are in the works. When can we expect anything new in terms of production, music wise?
I want to come out together with the traders, because we always wait
Okay,
for
yeah.
carnival time,
There are music out.
but
Is music out already?
of
I
course,
start
of
getting
course,
Farmer Nappy. I get how many
yes,
versions already. Patrice
yes,
have a couple songs. The trainees are out.
absolutely. The tunes are coming out.
Uh-huh.
So we're looking at October. October is already on us. We have
Yes.
already recorded our songs. So we're just
Mhm.
working on the videos as well because the video will help to propel the songs as well. And then
Okay, great.
we can send it out to the DJs. So when they're making the 2022 soca mix, booyah mix, whatever, they
Mhm.
can also add the Calin XP in there. I have some songs that would song vintage,
Vintage, yeah.
vintage bouillon. So
Yes.
when you hear it, you will
Old
say,
school.
"Oh, that's what XP
My
was
kind of
talking about."
thing.
Your kind of thing, Waddix. So
Yes,
we
sir.
take we're taking it old school and we're taking it
New
new
school.
school.
That's the
That's
idea.
right. That's
That's why I
it.
love I'm slim. Old and
Yes.
new mix up.
Slim should say something. I love Slim's voice. I
Okay,
love
okay.
hearing Slim.
Slim man, come and say
Slim
something to
say
the
morning.
queen, man.
Yeah, let me just say a
So-
pleasant good morning, all the listeners of
Oh,
Q95 FM. And of course, good morning to the Booyah Queen, Karin XP.
morning,
Karin, how you doing? How
Slim.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just want to hear your voice. His voice is so huge for such a small person.
Slim.
Slim.
Come in, Slim. Come in, you're my son. I tell you, I adopt you, man. If you feel you want to ask the explanations, the question.
Okay, nice. Well, just go ahead and I'll join in at any time.
Okay, my brother. That's it. And I'm Colin. We know that you have a major event coming up, the Miami Carnival. Tell us about that.
Yes,
Anything
so,
before that?
No. We'll just have the regular musical therapy. This Sunday we are going to be celebrating the elderly, because the September
Yes.
is the month of the elderly.
Yes.
And so we're gonna dedicate this Sunday to the elderly.
I'm excited
And
about that.
yes, I hope to see them on my on in the Zoom box.
Yes, I need to make sure the vibrant senior citizens and the council on aging is aware of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've already reached out to Auntie Ophelia,
Of course.
and I know I'll see some of them on the Zoom box on Sunday. And then on the 9th of October, we take it live and we go down to Miami for Miami's Carnival.
Mhm.
The promoter is really excited of he said they're treating it like a sold out Trini Fest,
Oh,
so when you hear that, that is motivation and inspiration to get you to go down with your A game. And
mhm.
I know my Buyo Army will be coming in full support. A lot of them have already bought their tickets to go down and to support Colin XP and the Buyo music
So
in Miami. So we're looking forward to that, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
will it be a Caribbean lineup or a Dominican lineup? An all-star
It's a
Caribbean lineup?
it's a Colin XP lineup
Okay, with some other acts. So
with
you're doing
with
your
with a
own
few
show in
DJs.
Miami.
Yes, with a few DJs actually.
Okay, that's very important. And after that, what where Colin XP heads to? Back to the nature,
Um,
right?
no,
I just like we're not asking you for the rest of the year. I somebody told me all you sell all your flag. That's true.
no, I didn't sell my flag. Everywhere I go with my flag.
Okay. But we may not see you for the rest of the year.
For a
In
little while.
Dominica. In
For a
Dominica.
little while. Yes,
Well, we can
yes,
understand that as long as we
yes.
continue to get the entertainment. And
Right.
that's the most important thing. So after
Absolutely.
this, after this particular Miami project, what's next?
After the Miami project, well, like I said, we'll be hard at it where the music is concerned. We'll be marketing and pushing the music and getting people ready for the independence season and virtual carnival next year, right? So
Mm.
we're not gonna waste time and wonder if there's gonna be carnival or not. We're just gonna push our virtual carnival and get ready for carnival. We're also looking forward to another expeditious Christmas
Christmas.
experience.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can have some real snow this time.
Yes.
So we'll be doing another um virtual Christmas experience. And also we're looking forward to independence. Like I told you, we are working on our independence show to celebrate Dominica's independence, and you'll be hearing a lot more from us on that note.
What makes Kali Next be different from every or any other artist in the world?
Oh my God, I keep it expeditious.
Which entails
Me-
or which boils down to, yes, we know of
which
the
means I am
gyrations, we
myself.
know of the sexiness, that's important.
It means I am me 100% all the
Uh-huh.
time. All the time.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people would meet me and they'd say like, you're so down to earth. Like I say, what do you expect me to be? Do you expect me to say, oh no, don't come too close, or no, you're my fans, and I'll go up, I want to hug people, forgetting myself. It's COVID, Colin. But anybody can approach me. I am with everybody, so it's not just about being a celebrity and you want to be all up there and stoosh, and I am 100% me with everybody, and I think that makes me stand out.
When you look at, let's say, the next year or so, what would be some of your major dreams, your major aspirations for the music itself and the business?
um Hopefully, I would see myself doing a lot more shows, traveling the world, But we have to get rid of COVID and COVID. No, well, maybe not entirely, but we have to learn to live with it. But I see myself being more than what we are now. I am grateful. I see progress. I see a lot more shows in the future, a lot more music, and I just see greatness in the future.
Okay, Slim wanted to ask you something. Go ahead,
Yes,
Slim.
Oh,
Colin. No, you know that nothing worth having comes easy, right? So
right.
there must have been some sacrifices that you had to make to get to where you are today. Can you tell us what are some of those sacrifices?
Absolutely, my sleep.
Definitely, yeah.
I can
I can
imagine.
imagine.
I had to, first of all, I had to sacrifice my well-established nursing career to become a
Mhm.
full-time musician, right? So that in itself was a major sacrifice because you don't know what you're getting yourself into, especially in Dominica in the entertainment industry. So that was a huge sacrifice for me that I have yet to regret. You know, um, I sacrificed a lot of me time, especially with my daughter. Certain things I would want to do with her, then I have to work and I cannot take the time off to do certain things that I want to do with her. I've sacrificed a lot of relationships, you know, that I would have had going. And when you hear certain things that and see certain ways that people would treat you, especially when you are on the rise, you just figure like, I don't need the negativity in my life. So I've sacrificed time, I've sacrificed energy, I've sacrificed relationships, and that's what I if I have to do it in order to climb the success ladder, absolutely I'm gonna do it.
In terms of relationships, you make that sound like some of there was some level of jealousy, enmity somewhere along the line.
No
Am
matter what
I
you do in no matter what you do in life, Waddix, you will have that. You will have that no matter what you do in life.
and,
Yeah,
and and you rebound by your performances every week.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I,
I
I,
mean, I've heard things, and I'm just be like, okay, if that's how the person feel, then that's how the person feel. I cannot take that away from them. I don't expect everybody to like Colin XB. And everybody has their opinion, everybody has their feelings, and we just have to respect it and move on.
is your daughter a musician? I would imagine a
Oh my
singer,
God.
a keyboardist.
I don't She plays the keyboard, she plays her recorder, and she picked up a guitar the other day. So I don't know, whatever it is that she wanna do, I'm just aiding in whatever it is that she wants to do, but I'm not gonna force it on her. She's a wonderful singer, I might
Oh,
add.
singer. All right, it finally
She
came out.
harmonizes like nobody's
Uh-huh,
business.
uh-huh.
But whatever path she wanna go on, musically or not, I will just support her in anything.
One of those days we may see an appearance of her live soon.
Mm,
A mommy
soon.
daughter collab.
Hopefully, I'm working on it because she's camera shy.
Oh, okay. Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. So she took that from her father's side.
Mm, you know it. You know it.
But apart from that, Colin, you're a medical practitioner in Dominica.
Yes.
What's your stance? Before that, I saw some images of your performance in New York. I was a little concerned
Mhm.
though, quite a bit. Were a little up close,
Yes. Yes.
to the explanations. I was a little bit concerned,
Yes.
because we know the virus is still raging. But
Right.
what is the
Right.
expeditious stance on COVID-19 vaccination?
Absolutely. That is one of the things that as soon as Colin and I got up, we went to get vaccinated one
Pfizer,
time.
the
One
Pfizer,
time, yes.
the
No,
Pfizer,
we took the no, we got the Moderna.
the Moderna. Okay.
Moderna. Yeah. Um, I would encourage people to get vaccinated, but again, you have to respect people's opinion, not just because you do something you would want somebody else to do it. It might not be in their best interest, and Just ask people to do their own research, to make their own evaluations and do what's best for them. For me, I would like everybody to get vaccinated, so we could move back to some form of normalcy. When it comes to the Carlin XP gigs or the Carlin XP shows, we ensure that we have sanitization stations. We ensure that we encourage them to wear their masks as much as they can. A lot of people are vaccinated, so they go out. And some things that people don't see is in the States, a lot of these shows, they have you are required to show your vaccination cards
To
or
enter.
a PC, yes, or a negative test to enter, right? To up to a
Okay.
certain days, like 2 or 3 days prior to the event. If you have
Mhm.
a negative test to that, then you can show it and enter, right? They also have stations, testing stations situated outside of the event, the way people can get tested immediately, if they don't have their vaccination cards or a negative test. So a lot of things are going on in the background. So we still have to be prepared. We still have to take our necessary precautions when we go out to perform in the shows. But a lot of things that the people don't see are happening in the background where we are taking precautions.
When you look at the situation, both out and in the natural, we may be with this pandemic for a while. And
Yes.
we know quite a bit of the other artists are not as
Hmm.
fortunate as you. They didn't have the same structure and path as you. What would be your advice to them, especially those really struggling for
Yes.
even a virtual setup, even
Yes.
if we're not going to have live gigs in a while, at least for the next
Right.
couple of months? What would you like to tell those young artists, even thriving artists who may be striving for some level of returns on employment?
Yes. I would just tell them, like, do not be discouraged. You know, um, COVID too will pass, but in the meantime, in between time, work on your craft. If it means that you have to get something else, another job, I wouldn't want you to go away from your music. It's your passion, but we have to be realistic sometimes, if it doesn't sustain you, because you have to earn a living. You get something on the side while you work on your craft. You find new ways to build on what it is that you want to do. If you want to learn how to read music, you want to play an instrument, you want to put more music out there. As DJs, probably you can now work on new merchandising. You work on new mixes and you put it out there. You go to the artist, you ask for their music at that. Sometimes I feel like some DJs, they want us to always come to them. Yes, it's on the onus is on us to go to the DJs as well. But you can come out, make new mixes, make new beats, and ask different artists to drop on there. Um, find different avenues in order to motivate yourself, in order to work hard, in order to build your brand, in order to build your platform. We're not just gonna sit down at home and say, "Boy, see what COVID do me, boy. See what." Get up and do something. They say if you go out, God will help those who help themselves. You go to different people, you ask for help. You might get a million no's before you get that one particular yes that will just propel you up the ladder. So don't just sit back and wait for things to come to you. You put your best foot forward, and you go out and you push yourself out there. You market yourself. You let your things be known. You work hard. I have this one particular artist that I am very much impressed by, Fetty Mac.
Yeah.
He floods my phone with a million different songs. Like every other week, I get a new
Mhm.
song from him, and I just love his spirit. I love his motivation. And I think a lot of young ones can learn from his example as well. You're not too old to learn from the young ones. He pushes himself. You will know him out there, and I admire him for that. So a lot of people can learn from his example as well, where you push yourself forward. You don't just sit back and wait on the music industry to get back to something for you to try and do something. No, you put yourself out there, you research. Yeah, everybody's masters and bachelors on the school of Google. Yeah, so you you go out there and you see how different things you can do in order to propel yourself.
Is are the musicians from Dominica getting the necessary support? Let's say on the authorities in Dominica, even if it's not financial, but let's say otherwise. Let's say we have the authority of the DFC, DDA, that level.
Mhm.
Are we getting that level of support?
It's a dead no from me.
No support at
I
all?
don't know if I don't know for other artists, but for Khalid XP is a dead no. Yeah, because
Have you approached them with any
I
particular
have
project?
I have approached them, and I will not give the response, but what if you have to get the response? I think maybe you might be disappointed or even embarrassed. So let's just leave it as that, and hopefully one day we will get it right, because like I say again, people don't treat the musicians and the entertainment industry as a business, and I think we just see it as people going on stage and singing a couple songs and anything. But if you know it and if you understand it as a business, you will treat it as such, and then you will give it the necessary aid and the necessary help that it deserves. There's nothing wrong as a festivals committee to put on. Why haven't we done at least one virtual show yet to propel the Dominican artists, you know, to push them out there, the artists, the DJs, let's push our music because Carly next week can't do it on her own. But if you have the Dominica Festivals Committee doing something, a lot more people will be inclined to tuning in. Yeah. And so I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but as per your question, is a dead no for me. I
Do
don't
you
find
think
enough
do
is
you think
being
it's
done.
a lack of knowledge or a lack of sensitivity as to the musician? Musicians are special. Musicians
Yeah.
are not like, oh, music is not like any other occupation. Musicians are very sensitive. And do you feel there's a lack of understanding of the musician itself? Why there isn't
Um.
enough attention being played on or being paid to, let's say, music and musicians? Because we used to know of the times when you choose music, you would be either a vagabond or somebody that, but we have seen the difference in other places where music has been a career, has
Mhm.
given people all of their wealth
Exactly.
and whatever in order. When you look at, let's say, the mega stars in the US, even let's say Marshall, let's go back
Right.
to the Caribbean.
Right.
Is there a lack of sensitivity, or are we returning to the same mistakes that we made before? You can
Um.
answer or don't. You can
I
choose
think
not
like
to.
I mean, like, again, robotics is, I don't think it's a lack of understanding. It's just treating it as a business, because the megastar that thrive on it is their business, and then they also branch out to other things where their brand is concerned. Even Marshall too. Marshall will have his merch. Marshall has done his movies, and they don't just stick to music, but you branch out and you make your brand be known. Yeah. So if we treat it as a business, then we will know its worth, and then everybody who needs to support and to help it propel will do that.
Okay, I always think of yes, we need the doctors, we need the lawyers, we need the agriculturists, but we need the musicians also to be happy.
As Yep,
The
yep,
explanations, I really want to thank you and thank the fingers
yes,
and the beautiful daughter in the background for
yes.
joining us. I
Thank
will leave
you.
the final words to you. Slim, want to say something just before you leave? Because we have to break for the news. You want to say at least a little bye-bye to the explanations?
Your queen, Colin XP. Let me just say thank you for joining us here this morning on behalf of everybody here at Q95 FM Radio, Prince Waddix, my mentor, and of course, Mr. G. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us here this morning. All right, all the best.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much for having
explanations.
me.
And God bless
Thank
you.
you. All right. Take
Okay,
care.
another Creole Heartbeat program. The news comes up in a while.
Akay malade. Prince Waddix, Prince Waddix, Prince Waddix, Prince Waddix. A pou an wete ba moun fle la yo mange a kite la vie. Apprecier sa yo ka fe kon yo a pa mi nou jodi. La se